Please now check on the voice audible or not. Please now check voice audible or not.
For others to join, or can we get started?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You are audible. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
To let you know what are the kinds of.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Let's get started. Um, can you see my screen?
सेट किया
Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
So today we are talking about launching your engineering dream. What are your career options after you're done with your engineering? I'm assuming all of you are engineering students here, pursuing your BTech, BE in one or the other department. So, what are the different career options after you're done with the engineering? And then, how can you think about studying outside India if you want to go for higher studies? Now, can any one of you tell me what do you want to take away from this conversation that we have today? Any volunteers? इस conversation के
So
बाद
we
आप
will,
क्या जानना चाहते हो? हाँ.
yeah, so we will get a clear picture of how can we study abroad and what can we get in abroad, like,
Mm-hmm. Okay. और कोई?
and all the career options.
Nice. Yes.
we
Anyone
can
else?
we can go through a roadmap by means of you.
Okay. Awesome. So we'll try to keep this conversation very interactive. I'll ask you questions. If you have questions, feel free to ask during the
तुम लोग को
entire
आवाज
topic.
आ रहा है? मेरे में आवाज नहीं आ रहा.
आवाज नहीं आ रही है? Can you all hear me? Okay, I can try doing that. Is it any better? Okay, cool. I'll try using my hold the mic. Awesome. So before we get started, I wanted to set uh, a boundary that I've let's keep this very interactive, where I'll ask you a lot of questions and please participate. And then whenever you have questions, feel free to do that. I have prepared a presentation which will go through over the course of next 30-40 minutes. The presentation should not take more than 15-20 minutes, and then the rest 20-25 minutes we can use answering your questions. Let's get started. So before we get started, who am I? Like, why should you even listen to me? Why should I be presenting to you and you should be listeners? What do I have to offer? So a little bit of background. I'm an engineer by education and I was an entrepreneur. I used to run my own startup back in India for about 7 years, ran a profitable, successful company, then moved to US, did my master's at one of the most prestigious university for AI and robotics called Carnegie Mellon. Then went to PayPal as a product manager, worked there for a while. I was at Facebook working on Facebook ads. All the ads that you see on Facebook, Instagram, yes, I was one of them responsible for it. And right now, I'm working for TikTok. Unfortunately, Others TikTok to is not join, or available in can India, we get started? but it's a huge product. 2 billion people around the world use it. And I work as a product manager lead in their California office.
Yes, sir.
In the course of this conversation, I will also talk to you about
Yes, sir.
what does product management mean and what does a product manager do, and why did I switch from being an engineer to a product manager. So let's get to the next one, which is engineering. So
Okay, sir.
question for you guys: what do you think is the role of an engineer? 1 second. Engineer क्या करता है? Anyone?
Sir, an engineer is responsible for taking new innovations in minimum
No,
of
what are
resources.
the
Like we are supposed to provide solutions to problems with using least resources possible in the most constructive way.
Wow, amazing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Any other thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Anyone
sir.
else who wants to answer this
Yes,
question?
sir.
What does an engineer do?
Yes, sir.
I'm looking for one more answer. No? Okay.
The engineers solve problems or daily life.
Yes, that's right. And that's what I'm going to talk about. This is the most popular engineer India knows, right? From Three Idiots. So engineering is a problem-solving discipline. Whether you are a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer, a computer science engineer, what you're doing day in, day out are, is you are solving problems for users, solving problem for the world, solving problem for the businesses. And then each of these specialization teaches you the specific needs, specific protocols, specific processes and mechanism. Like electrical engineer, you learn about electrical gadgets, microchips. Computer science, you're learning a lot about coding, software development. Similarly, chemical, civil, biomedical, all of these are basically teaching you what does it take to build something. And from there on, as an engineer, you can solve problems for the world. And since you're solving these problems, some of these problems are net new, which has never been solved. And that's how engineers become creative, innovative, and you are coming up with things that has never been built, that has never been problems that have never been solved. Like first time when someone built an aeroplane, no one would have thought that people can fly. But today it's regular. Something as simple as a smartphone, right? You can touch on the screen, you can capture a video, you can talk to someone around the world using a phone. It's an engineer who built it. The computer on which all of us are meeting today is an engineer who built it. So, engineers are builders, engineers
Hello.
are creators,
Let's get
engineers
started.
are problem solvers. And the world needs really good engineers to make this a better place to live. Awesome. So, what skills are important for an engineering career? So, what I'm talking about is not specific to engineer, and
Can you see my screen?
crossed out here.
Sit kiya.
These skills are typically
Yes, sir.
important throughout your
So,
career.
Today we are
Whether
talking
you
about
be an engineer,
launching your
you
engineering
are a
dream.
banker, lawyer, whatever it
What are your
is,
career
these
options
skills will take you really
after
far.
you're done with your engineering?
So,
I'm
I have two
assuming
categories
all of you
here. One
are
is soft
engineering
skills,
students
one
here,
is hard skills.
pursuing your
Soft skills is
BTech,
typically your
in one
personality,
or the other
how you
department.
talk, how you work
So,
with
what are the
others.
different career
So this is
options
more
after you're done with
around your
engineering?
own persona.
And then how can
And
you
then there
think
are
about
hard
studying
skills,
outside India
which are like
if you
core
want to go for
technical
higher
skills
studies?
that you need to be
Now, can
successful.
any one of you tell me
So effective
what
communication.
do you want to take
So
away
we
from
all
this
know
conversation that we have
that communication is
today?
important. किसी से
Any
बात करनी आती है
volunteers?
आपको, अच्छे से बात करते हो आप, तो that helps you. But effective communication is how
जिस
can you
conversation के
convey
बाद आप
your
क्या जानना चाहते हो?
opinion,
हाँ.
your
Yeah,
thoughts,
so we will get a clear
your
picture of
ideas in a
how
way
can we
that the
study
person
abroad and what can we get
listening, hearing,
in abroad.
understands
Mhm.
without
Okay.
getting confused. How can you
और कोई?
make it
And all the
simple
career
for
options.
others to understand deep
Nice.
technical things?
Yes.
How can you make it simple for people
We
Anyone
can
to
go.
else?
understand
We can go
complex
through a roadmap
topics? And
by
that is
means of
effective
you.
communication.
Okay.
It's beyond
Awesome.
language. आप हिंदी
So
में
we'll
बात कर रहे हो,
try to
English में
keep
बात
this
कर रहे हो.
conversation very
It's not
interactive.
about
I'll
कि आप
ask you
कौन सी
questions.
language use
If
कर
you
रहे हो.
have questions, feel free
It's
to
more
ask
about
during the
तुम लोग
कि
interview.
आप
आवाज
उसको
आ रहा है?
कैसे बोल रहे हो. How are
मेरे
you
में आवाज
conveying
नहीं आ रहा.
that? And then second comes teamwork and
आवाज नहीं आ
collaboration.
रही है?
Anywhere you go, you will have to work with people. You will have to work with others. You'll have to depend on others.
Can you all hear
And
me?
that's where teamwork and collaboration work. How good are you when you're working with someone else? Are you understanding their strengths, weaknesses,
Okay.
their
We can
limitations?
try doing that.
And can you
Is
work
it any
with
better?
to make your job easier, make
Okay,
others'
cool.
jobs easier?
I'll try using.
Time management and prioritization. This is something
Awesome.
that
So
I think
before
is
we get
not
started,
just for your job or
I wanted
career.
to set
This is
uh,
for your life.
a boundary that
Time is the only resource.
let's keep this very interactive.
You cannot renew
Where
it.
I'll
And
ask you a
how
lot
you
of
manage
questions
time
and please
is
participate.
the most important
And
skill
then
in my
whenever you
opinion.
have questions,
If
feel free to do that.
for the time that
I
you
have
live
prepared a
on this earth.
presentation which will go
that's
through
one
over the
skill.
course of
How do you
next 30, 40 minutes.
prioritize? अभी क्या करना
The presentation
चाहिए?
should
Like
not
let's
take
say
more than 15, 20 minutes.
after your
And then the rest, 20,
college,
25 minutes, we can use
in the evening, you are
answering
done
your
with your
questions.
classes. You have 2 hours before
Let's
you go
get
to bed.
started. So before we get
Prioritization
started,
is
who
whether
am
you
I?
go
Like, why should
watch
you
a
even
movie,
listen to me?
whether
Why
you
should I be presenting to you
go
and you
on
should be
Instagram
listeners?
and watch some
What
reels
do I have to offer?
versus
So a little bit of
go
background.
ahead and
I'm an
finish your
engineer by
assignment
education and I
because
was
it
an
is due
entrepreneur.
tomorrow.
I used
I'm
to
not
run my own
saying
startup
watching
back in
movies
India
is
for about
bad,
7
but
years.
that's how you
Ran a profitable,
prioritize, like
successful
based
company.
on what you need.
Then
You're
moved to
doing that
US,
every
did my
day. You're
masters
prioritizing
at one of the
आज
most
movie देखनी
prestigious
है,
university
लेकिन
for
अगर
AI
आज
and
रात को
robotics
assignment
called
submit
Carnegie
करना है,
Mellon.
you finish that
Then
first
went to
before you go
PayPal as a
and
product
do any
manager.
entertainment. So
Worked there for a
you
while.
are doing that
I was at
prioritization
Facebook,
consciously,
working on Facebook ads.
unconsciously on every
All the
day,
ads that
and
you
that is
see
one
on
of the
Facebook,
important
Instagram.
skills when you
Yes,
go
I was one of them
go for a
responsible
job.
for it. And
Interpersonal
right now,
relationship.
I'm working for
This is
TikTok.
very related to
Unfortunately,
teamwork
for
and
those to
collaboration
join,
that I
or
was talking
can we
about.
get started?
But
it's a
interpersonal relationship
huge
is
product.
how
2
you
billion people
how you
around the world
connect
use
with
it,
others.
and I work as a product manager.
College में तो
lead,
दोस्त होते हैं बहुत सारे, but
in
when you
the
go
California office.
because you're going through the
Yes,
same
sir.
journey,
In
you
the
have the
course of
same
this conversation, I
professors,
will
you have
also
the
talk
same
to you about
assignments,
Yes, sir.
same exams, same
what does
studies.
product
So it's
management
easy to
mean,
build friends
and what does
when
a
you
product
are
manager do?
in college. But
Why did
right
I
after your
switch from
college, when you
being an
go on a
engineer to
job,
a product manager?
people are from different
So
facets
let's
of life.
get to the
अलग
next
अलग जगह
one,
से लोग आए हैं, अलग
which
तरीके के काम करते हैं,
is
अलग background है.
engineering. So,
How do you build
Okay, sir.
connection?
question
with
for
them?
you guys.
How do you
What do you
make
think is the
yourself
role of an engineer?
available to others so that they can connect to you? Is
Engineer
where
क्या करता है?
interpersonal relationship building comes into picture. Adaptability and quick learning is basically
Anyone?
you're on the job, you're doing something new. How can you learn it? How can you
Sir, an
adapt to the new
engineer is
environment?
responsible for
Hey, darling,
taking
go.
new innovations in minimum of resources. Like
Sorry?
we are supposed to provide solutions to problems with using least resources
Is there a
possible
question?
in the most constructive way.
Wow, amazing. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Any other thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else who wants to answer this question?
Cool. So
What
I'll
does
keep
an
going.
engineer do?
Adaptability and quick learning is about
Yes, sir.
which
I'm looking for one more
नया
answer.
आया आपके जिम में. So how do you learn that? How do you do a good job when things are new to you? How do you figure out
No?
new
Okay.
things,
The problem solve
new skills,
engineers solve
new
problems
technologies,
or
and
daily
still be
life.
successful?
Yes.
And then there comes
Right.
hard skills.
And
This is, I
that's
think,
what
something that
I'm
most
gonna
of
talk
us
about.
know. Technical.
This is the most popular engineer India knows,
Technical
right?
knowledge चाहिए.
From Three
You need
Idiots.
to be very analytical, decide what to do, what not to do.
Engineering
And then problem
is a
solving
problem
is at core of
solving
engineering
discipline.
that we just talked
Whether
about.
you are a civil
And then
engineer,
At
mechanical
times, you
engineer,
also
computer
need to
science
do
engineer,
design skills because
what you're doing
building
day in,
things
day
for
out
people and people are
are-
interacting with
is you are
products and
solving
technologies that you are
problems.
building.
Solving problems for
So
users,
I won't go
solving problems
deeper
for
into
the
the hard
world,
skills.
solving
Soft
problems for
skills is
businesses.
something that generally gets
And then
overlooked.
each of these
And that's why I wanted to
specializations
spend a few minutes on that.
teaches you
Any questions here?
the specific
Anything that
needs,
you want me to share more
specific
about?
protocols, specific processes and mechanisms.
No,
Like
sir.
electrical engineer, you
Awesome.
learn
कोई सवाल?
about electrical
Should we keep going?
gadgets, microchips, computer science. You're learning a lot about coding, software development.
Awesome.
Similarly,
I'll take
chemical,
that
civil,
as action.
biomedical, all of these
How
are
to pick a
basically
career?
teaching you what does it take
This is the $1 million
to
question.
build something, and
engineering
from there
करनी
on, as an engineer,
तो
you can solve
engineering के
problems
बाद
for the
क्या
world.
करना है? ये
And since
कैसे
you're
decide करें?
solving these problems, some of these
How
problems
many
are
of
net
you
new, which has never
have
been solved. And that's how engineers
enrolled
become
in
creative,
engineering course
innovative, and you are coming up
because
with
you wanted
things
to?
that has never been built, that has
Or,
never
okay,
been
let me rephrase my
problems
question.
that
Is there
have never
anyone
been
who
solved.
who is pursuing
Like
this
first time
engineering?
when someone
You
built an
उनका बहुत
aeroplane,
मन था engineer बनने
no
का।
one would have thought that people can fly. But today, it's
है
regular.
कोई?
Something as simple as a smartphone, right?
कोई भी
You
नहीं है।
can touch on the screen, you can capture a video, you can talk to someone around the world
to do this poll.
using a phone. It's an engineer who built it.
Yep.
The computer
Feel
on
free
which
to
all
just
of us are
start,
meeting today
answering
is an
instead of
engineer
raising
who
your
built it.
hands.
So
Go one by one. I have
engineers are
Pooja
builders.
at the top, so I'll
Engineers
start.